I'm gonna put it up here where it was. All right, you ready? All right, 6 o'clock. We'll call to order the monthly meeting of the Durant City Council. Please join me in a quick invocation and a flag salute. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day, for our chance at the meeting tonight to do the bidding, your will, and the citizens that elected us, for the folks here in the audience, our city employees, the other folks that are on the agenda as well, and our citizen commentators. If you could watch over them, and they may speak from the heart for their concerns for the city of Durant. And I would like to pray that in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call.
Okay. Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Councilmember Shear.
Here.
Councilmember Fuller.
Here.
Mayor Tucker is absent. Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Here. All right, first thing we have are citizen comments, and we actually have one tonight. Stuart Hoffman is here from Hoffman Sanitation to talk to us about recycling. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Please set 5 minutes on the clock.
Mike's going to hold me to 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So Stuart Hoffman, Hoffman Sanitation, and we've been working with Sustainable Durant and Choctaw Nation, working on recycling type stuff. We're actually pretty close to being able to roll it out. I wanted to come to you guys and kind of tell you that, kind of go over it if you have questions about it. I know you can't discuss it much, but we can answer questions. And then see how we move forward with doing it inside the city limits. I think it's a win for everybody. Obviously a win for me, as we're going to charge people to do it. Win for the consumer who wants to recycle, and there's several of them if you guys didn't know that. And then a win for you guys too, as you'll be reducing your tonnage that you're hauling out or taking in on your weekly routes. We can be ready to do it as fast as April 1st. As a matter of fact, I have carts coming Monday. We're going to do it. Our plan, if it goes well, is Calera and Durant to start. That'll give us a good base of people who want to do it, and then work out from there for the rest of our customers. Obviously, it's easier to do it when they're congested, in a congested area like Durant and Calera. We will do some of the outskirts out by the store, kind of that kind of stuff. We're really close to Durant, but we don't want to get out to Bennington, Boca Chico, Boswell, those areas until we have a good grasp of what's going on. Again, would like to do it with your blessing, figure out how we can work together. I think that if we do it and it goes really well, it's an opportunity for you guys to add it to everybody. I can tell you that not everybody in the city wants to do it. We're looking at about 15-20% response currently. And I think it would be a mistake to force it on people at this point, but not to mention it's really super expensive to buy the carts and the trucks and the people and all that other stuff. So I don't know if anybody's got questions that I can answer to go in deeper into that, but that's kind of my spiel.
I'm just curious, Stuart, how much are you charging for it?
It's $20. And it would be, probably in the beginning, would be an every 2-week pickup. Doesn't have to be sorted. It all goes into one cart. You can put it in their bags, loose, whatever. And it just, the only thing we're not taking is glass. So cardboard, plastics, colored and clear, aluminum, paper, no glass.
Are you taking all plastics or just same as what Choctaw's taking?
It'd be what Choctaw's taking.
1,
but
2,
it's clear and
5,
colored.
1, 2, and 5?
Yes, sir.
Are you putting it all in the same container, or are you using separate containers for?
There's a
cardboard,
container
plastic?
for trash and a container for recycling, but not separate for each piece.
Council, I'd remind you, this is not an agenda item, so it's probably best to receive information, and if there's a discussion item that needs to take place at a future meeting, we can certainly do that. But
to go on discussing further, for our customers, if you were one of our customers, you'd have a pink or blue can that you have for trash, and then a yellow can for recycling, so keep it completely separate. And would be a different day of the week, at least starting out, which is going to be kind of a hurdle, because you don't want to pull that thing out there twice a week, but but that's how it's gonna have to be in the beginning. So I say that and to leave with hopefully someone can contact us in the next little bit and at least get the ball moving forward and maybe be on the next agenda for a deeper discussion. And again, we just want to do it with everybody's blessing. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. All right, with almost 2 minutes to spare. Thank you, sir.
That was all for you.
All right. Now that there are no further comments signed up here, we can move on to our order of business, our consent items. If everyone reviews the consent items in our packet or has already reviewed the consent items, if there's anything in there that you maybe want to remove or whatnot. All right. Not hearing any objections, motion to approve consent items.
Motion to
Second.
approve.
All right, I hear a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. All right. Onwards we go, informational items. Number 3, financial reports.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, this time let's start with the financial report. The first one is general fund. It's a January financial report for the general fund, and then you can see that the total revenue is under the budget for the 4.1%, but that's including the fund balance. If we take out the fund balance, the revenue is over budget for about 5.98%. And the expenditure is under 6.37%, so which means that that's the year-to-date that we got $481,000. I cannot say surplus, but compared to the revenue to expense. Yeah. And the second page is the capital improvement. This is kind of like just information for you because the capital improvement that we got some revenue or grant revenue and all the project going on. So there's no how to say that, positive or negative, because each project we already assigned the money for that. The third one is the DCUA, Utility Authority Fund. And for the Utility Authority Fund, that the revenue is over budget about 2.55%, and the expenditure is under budget about 10%. But the thing that I have to point out, this expense is not including the encumbrance, which means that we already plan to use, so we put the money aside. That is not including in this expense yet. Wait till that we spend it out, it will put it into our expense account. So because of the revenue is running pretty well and the expense is less than our budget, is 1.8 million compared to the revenue and expense. And then next is our sales tax revenue. The same, I break it down to the 1% capital improvement, 2% for the general fund, and 1/4% for the economic development, 2/4% for the multi-sport complex and southeastern football field and arena, and 5/8 for the independent school district. And the total amount is $1,834,167.14. And there's a 10 years average, 10-year sales tax revenue report. Yeah, compared to the last year, the same month, it's about $3,000 less. But we still running we are fortunate, we're still running pretty well for our sales tax revenue. And the last page is monthly average for the 10 years. And you can see the trend for this line is keep slightly going up, so which means our average monthly revenue is sliding going up. Is there any question about the?
I got a question on the quarter cent for this and the quarter cent for the arena and for the sports complex.
Mhm.
We did some projects or are doing some projects. How much do you know how much is going to be left after those projects are done before it sunsets in September?
So far, because we got 3 more months for the next fiscal year, that's what I did not expect it, sorry. So I think it's about 600,000 left. I have to go back to see the
Okay.
actually DCFA, how much it is, but I think it's about 600 to, I don't think it's a million, about 600,000, yes.
Okay. I was just curious. That was a question at the previous DCFA meeting, so nobody,
Mhm.
you were on vacation, so we didn't know, so I figured I'd ask now. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. Item B, information regarding TSET ordinance updates and possible discussion.
All right, guys, this was an informational because at the PC meeting, I had to get it on to new business. And just generally, I'll give you some kind of the background, the story. TSET, Tobacco Settlement, is a group that awards grants. We've already been awarded a certain amount of money, and there's about 20,000 left to try to go after. And I'm trying to apply for a grant to get that money. And this is just an informational thing. In order to apply, the deadline to apply is the end of March. And at Planning Commission, we resolved to have a special meeting on the 18th to try to get some of the ordinance updates needed for that grant. And this is, I'm just generally sharing that in order to get this grant, we would need a special meeting with City Council to apply these ordinance updates. So that's just the information, and y'all make a decision or whatever you're supposed to do. But
When is the deadline for this?
I think it's the 31st.
So, I mean, then we'd have to have a special meeting pretty quickly then.
Yeah. So the proposed one for Planning Commission is the 18th. It's
Okay.
actually scheduled as of today, but yeah.
Man, it seems just like just crossing stuff out and updating language about different types of tobacco products. I went through that wherever they crossed out those things. I mean, it seems pretty boilerplate type stuff. I didn't think there was anything crazy on there. So I guess we'll have to see
Yeah.
whenever you guys so planning and zoning has to approve it first and then we move on from that. So for time frame's pretty quick.
Yeah. And then to give some more information, what TSET's really great. What they did was they reviewed all of our stuff and they gave commentary and then they gave the replacement. So
Right.
it's all really up to par. So
Tom, did you look at those?
I scanned over them since they were informational items. I didn't scan through them as if we were going to vote on them tonight.
Okay.
I think you're right. It will be relatively easy to adopt those or adapt those to what we need for.
Okay. Well, pretty standard stuff. Okay. All right. Any other questions on that? Well, thank you, sir.
yep, thanks y'all.
All right, moving on. 4A, consideration, discussion, and possible action on the acceptance of the 2023 Oklahoma Department of Energy Management and Homeland Security Enhanced 911 Funding Sustainability Grant Award in the amount of $2,993 as funding to purchase and replace approximately 20 push-to-talk headsets and 4 headset adapters for the Durant, Bryan County PSAP.
Yes, this is actually FEMA money that gets funneled down to Oklahoma Emergency Management and Homeland Security. They contacted us. You get like a set amount per county, per city. That was the amount we were given. When I spoke with Lieutenant Marcy, our biggest need in the E911 sector was that all of our headsets were falling apart, basically. So yeah, they were being held together with duct tape, and everybody was kind of having to rig them to make them work. So this is kind of a housekeeping item because we did receive the funding notification back in November, but it was never brought to City Council. So I wanted to bring it to City Council for official approval. Any questions?
Is this the total amount, or is this part of the amount? It defers some of the amount that we're going to be spending?
No, this is the total amount.
Okay. Any questions on that? All right. Do I have a motion to approve 4A?
Motion to approve 4A.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. Motion approved. 4B, consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept the 2024 OMAG Public Safety Equipment Grant Award in the amount of $5,000 as partial funding to purchase excavation safety equipment for the Streets Department.
So this is something as we are an OMAG member, this is an annual grant availability for public safety equipment. Carl and the Streets Department decided that we needed some trenching equipment, and so the full amount is $6,000. It's a 5-to-1. For every 1,000, or for the 1,000 you spend, you get 6,000. We're spending a little over 6,000, so we don't leave any money on the table. The quote we have is $6,289. So if you guys accept, then we'll create the PO and Carl will move forward with the purchase of the equipment. Any questions?
Mr. Hightower.
Yes,
This
please.
equipment will be used throughout the public works in different departments as well. M&O can use it, so.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve 4B?
Motion to approve 4B.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
We're gonna run this meeting tonight.
Call a vote, please.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. All right, 4C. We have to do those individually because there's a 1 and a 2.
Yep.
All right, 4C1, consider award of bid for agricultural hay lease Durant Regional Airport.
Yes, I apologize, I'm not real, wasn't prepared for this. I had to step in for Ryan's last minute. We do have, it's in your bid package, we do have 3 bids. We're just asking you to accept the highest bid.
All right, any questions? All right, motion to accept highest bid on 4C1.
Second.
Oh, what is
It-
the
It's
Do you
to
have-
Robert Self for
Yeah.
$25,255.
There you go.
I have a question. Who
Oh.
who has the lease currently?
It's up.
And who-
Rex Williams did have it. We rebid it a month ago.
The prior lease was only a year long. This lease is going to be 3 one-year terms.
Right, but we can cancel it
Yes.
30 days before the renewal each year, which was my concern because I know we have airport projects coming up and I just wanted to make sure we
Right.
had that ability to pull out. But
Any more questions? All right, let's try again. I make a motion to approve 4C1, the highest bid. Can you repeat that one more time? Robert Self,
Robert Self, $25,255.
25,255.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4C2 is consider approval of contract for agricultural hay lease Durant Regional Airport. I'm guessing it's similar to this, or tell us more about this.
Sir, it's pretty much the same as the.
We're
other one.
awarding the bid and then we're accepting the contract.
Right,
Right.
accepting contract.
Same thing.
All right. Any questions about this one? What's the highest bidder on this one?
It's the same
It's
one.
it's same one.
It's the
that's
same one. This is
contract.
just the contract
Oh, it is
for
the
the
contract.
bid,
I apologize.
for the bidder.
I misread. I
Yep.
thought it was a bid. I apologize. All right. Motion to approve 4C2.
Second.
Okay.
Motion and second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. I thought we had two, but what was that? All right, motion passes. 4D, consider approval of resolution establishing fees and costs charged by the City of Durant and Durant City Utility Authority for Durant Services R 2024-04.
Yes, with approval from last month's poll schedule, we were asking to charge the following for swim lessons: ages 4 to 6 to $100, ages 7 to 9, $125, ages 10 plus is $150. With the new schedule, this will offer more lessons for the ages 4 to 9, but less for 10 and up. It'll be a total of 180 lessons if we keep 5 guards per week. Previous years, we've averaged about 94 lessons a year, 60 group lessons, with the majority of lessons in private lessons. I think what they're doing is taking the group lessons out and going with this schedule.
Okay, any questions about that?
And this is adding the scuba classes, is that correct?
Yes, the scuba lessons is, I think he said, is going to be, I think, $125.
They say 75 on here.
175. I don't have that. Okay.
But that's an addition. That
Right,
wasn't on
but
there.
that's mainly to pay for the instructor that's doing the lessons. We're making about $25 off of it, I think. So,
When do the scuba lessons take place? Is there a certain time period they're doing them, or
I will assume there will be, but
what?
That's not what we're voting.
I was just curious.
yeah.
All right. Any other questions about that? All right. Motion to approve 4D.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. Motion passes. 4E.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome. 4E, consider approval of resolution declaring the support of the City of Durant in submitting an application for form to the T-Mobile Hometown Program for a $50,000 grant to fund the enhancement of public spaces and authorizing the Community Development Director, Reed Anschholz, how do you say your last name? Eichholz, to sign and submit said form and any other required documentation R 2024-05.
Sorry for the mouthful. My last name and the title.
So I get the last name thing all the time.
So this is another grant, and this is just consideration for the approval of accepting and allowing me to apply for this grant. And just the terms of the grant, it's from T-Mobile. They just started a branch in Durant. I'm sure y'all are aware, and they like to award hometowns or kind of places with a cool downtown, a cool culture, very, again, hometown focused. They like to award these 0% match grants every year, and I'm applying for the use of some public space improvement. And I've had several thoughts, like temporary bollards for public spaces, and then some market square renovations, stuff like that. So,
How long does it take to get this grant, you think?
so the deadline is the end of March, and I would imagine we'd be awarded, according to Becca, pretty quickly after that, and then spent within the next. Tiffany knows better than I. 40 to 60 days.
60, so pretty
yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
And you think you have a pretty good chance of getting this, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have to have set plans submitted to get it?
Yes, we do, and I haven't submitted anything yet, and am open to discussion. But again, have thought Market Square, kind of using the side area where you have that dangerous turnout, and kind of using that for a green space and extension from the pocket park, so you're not taking any parking space away, but you're kind of creating a sense of place right outside the porch. So something like that, but.
Any other questions, discussions about item 4E? Since I don't hear any other, you have something, Humphrey? No. Since, no, I don't hear any other discussion, I'd like to make a motion to approve 4E.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4E approved. 4F, consider approval of the request from the Oklahoma Electric and Gas Company for an underground easement at the Country Club Drive and Cemetery Road. You again?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
So this is just OG&E, another easement request for them to do their service. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Any
I
questions?
think y'all should have the document.
Questions about that?
What do they plan to service with this?
I'm not sure. Rick, do you know?
I believe it's
Cell tower. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no further discussion, I move to approve 4F. Make a motion to approve 4F.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4G, consideration, discussion, and possible approval for an overland drainage easement for stormwater drainage pipe on Bryan County EMS property. Mr. Hightower.
Yes, council, they're building a new EMS building, and our present storm drain will be right under it. So they're going to reroute the line around it, and this easement is for us to be able to get on their property whenever it's complete in future use. So if we have to go in and unstop it or something.
Discussions, questions?
I mean, I'm assuming they're in agreement because they want to build their building, so
Right.
it's not an issue. Yeah.
Hearing no further questions or discussions, I move to approve 4G.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4H, discussion and consideration and possible approval for an easement of access to city property. Mr. Hightower.
This goes right along with that. This is for the contractor to be able to get on our property to connect the rerouting of the stormwater.
Motion to approve 4H.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Thank you.
4I. PC 2024-03, consider approval of final plat request by Delgo Construction, Inc. for 49th and south of Railroad.
Yes. And I'm gonna pass out some handouts that Dale wanted y'all to have.
He's so thorough.
So I'm sure y'all are pretty familiar with this property. It's that I-1 property over on 49th, south of the railroad tracks that Dale's been working on for a while. Again, so 3 phases. I think there's a total of 16 lots. The first phase will be 8 lots. We've approved everything previously. The cul-de-sac size, the entry frontage, we've had some fire marshal approval and rural water approval with different things. Trying to think if there's any other details.
The only thing we were really contingent upon was with getting that easement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that was the big thing, and there's, you can see on those handouts that he provided the proof of the easement from his southern property connecting this property.
Any questions about that?
Yeah. And then also just the recommendation, the planning commission unanimously voted to approve this. So.
I make a motion to approve 4I.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4J, PC 2024-06, consider approval of rezone request by Monica Uber for property located at 711 Blanchard.
Okay. So this property is, again, at 711 Blanchard, which is right at the intersection between 9th and Blanchard. The request is for a rezone from C2 to R2. The area itself is relatively, the parcel itself is surrounded by C2 parcels, but just catty corner and adjacent is an R2 subdivision. Also, uses to the east are residential in nature, even though it was zoned commercial. There was a lot of discussion at the Planning Commission meeting whether this was just kind of a blanket zoning process and it just happened, or if there was some purpose to all this being C2. And the fact that it's catty corner, a lot of questions arose whether or not it was spot zoning or not. So yeah, generally the property is about an acre, kind of a 200 by 200 square, and the intention by the landowner is to do an R2 property. So just to give some planning commission feedback, it was voted, again, lots of discussion back and forth, but was voted 3-4 to approve the rezone and to recommend approving the rezone.
I had some of the same questions, Reed, because there are 8 other houses on this map that are zoned commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just have a feeling we're going to be, as those houses, if they choose to sell them, are going to have to come across this as well, because it's obviously a residential area. I don't necessarily have any issues with this, but it is a little concerning that there are other properties that are going to face the same issue in this region.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing to note, when we had our pre-development meeting, or pre-agenda meeting, utilities did give some wisdom on what the sewer capacity is out there, and this property would have to extend the sewer from the subdivision. So down the street, there's not current sewer right there, so.
Any other questions or commentary on 4J? Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we approve 4J.
Second.
All right. A motion and multiple seconds. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4K, PC 2024-07. Consider approval of final plat request for Sunstar LLC for property located near Larkspur Lane.
So I think y'all are pretty familiar with this property as well. Current zoning is R1. They've already done several phases to the south of Heritage. This is Heritage North Phase 1. There was generally some questions about drainage, and the developer is here tonight to answer any of those questions. But from a planning and community development standpoint, they have met all expectations with ordinances, minimum lot sizes, ROWs, and have worked closely with me to try to answer any questions. So any questions y'all have, would love to kind of hand off to Buddy. One other thing to note is that we did have a comment from a neighbor just east saying they were concerned about future traffic on Larkspur. So, yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a concern, but we're going to address that road soon, yes.
Yeah, hopefully that will ease some of those concerns in the near future.
Yeah.
Any other questions or discussion on 4K? Motion to approve 4K.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4L, PC 2020-408, consider approval of rezone request by Kane Smith for property located on Rodeo Road.
So this property is just adjacent to the east of another subdivision being developed currently. The future land use of that area is projected residential. There are some questions about capacity for water, and there's sewer in the north, I think it's the northwest corner of this property. The owner approached to rezone and then to explore options later on what that might look like. Generally, again, there's R1 zoned right adjacent to the property, so there's no concern for spot zoning or anything like that. So Planning Commission voted unanimously to rezone this property. One other comment, we had a concerned landowner next door who just mentioned that part of the property is a creek and there are awesome animal wildlife in that creek. So just being cognizant of that in future development.
Is there anything, Reed, like state ordinance or that would give that environmental issue any ground that they'd have to uphold?
I don't know. I don't know if there's endangered species, but it's a very small part of the property. So
Yeah.
worst comes to worst, you do a little green belt or conservancy area. And
Right. I mean, my thought was just if that is a serious issue to be concerned, is there anything that we have to hold them accountable to? Or is it just kind of like we're taking them at their word that they're going to be nice? And
yeah, good point. I think that would be something I'd absolutely have to look into when the preliminary plat comes. So,
okay.
yeah.
Any other questions or discussion on 4L? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve 4L.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. 4M, PC 2020-409, consider approval for a 6-month extension of Rodeo Hills Phase 2 located near South 9th and Rodeo Road.
So this is nearby as well. So this is a subdivision. The bottom southern section has been developed out. There's kind of a legal land issue that's been in negotiation for the last, 12 months, 6 months maybe, I don't know. And it's kind of halted them from continuing development. And their plat expires, I think it's today, March 12th. And they're asking just for an extension because of the legal situation.
Questions?
And it's a 6-month extension.
6-month extension. All right. Hearing no further discussion or questions, I move to approve 4M.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. All right. Number 5, I don't think there's any new business. So hearing that there is no new business, I move to adjourn the meeting of the monthly Durant City Council.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Councilmember Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes. Right, we stand adjourned. We'll move on to the next meeting. Thank y'all. What's next? I don't have any more papers.
Utility authorities,
I don't think I have any more papers, y'all.
unless you want to do the airport first.
All right.
I don't think I've ever actually met you.
I was just a freshman.
All right, let's move on.
Good seeing you, man.
All right. I would like to call to order the monthly meeting of the Durant City Utilities Authority. Please call a roll.
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Trustee Fuller,
Here.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Here.
and Chairman Tucker is absent.
All right. Consent items. The only thing on the consent items is the consider approval of the regular called meeting minutes of February 13th, 2024. I move to approve consent items.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Yes. Seeing that there are no information items, administrative items, or new business, I move to adjourn meeting of Durant City Utilities Authority.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes. Meeting's adjourned. All right. Now, Durant Airport Authority. I call to order the monthly meeting of the Durant Airport Authority. Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Trustee Fuller,
Here.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Here.
Chairman Tucker is absent.
Okay. First order of business is our consent items, and that is consider the approval of the regular called meeting minutes of February 13th, 2024. I don't think there was much. I move to approve consent items.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes. We have no information items. Number 4, administration. Item 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action on approving DUA Air Evac Hangar Access Road and Utilities Extension KSA project number 101421.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to actually invite Michael Mitchell with KSA. He's our local rep with KSA to kind of discuss about this project, if you will. Michael?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us and considering our agenda item this evening. So what you have before you is essentially our design and bid contract for the Air Evac hangar facility, including utility extension, extension of Cessna Road to access the hangar. This project is being partially funded, as you know, by Air Evac and the Durant Industrial Authority. This week we did receive word that the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission voted to pitch in 40% towards design and then again towards construction. So they've decided to partner with the airport on this project, which in return, reduces the money that the airport needs from DIA to fund the project, which is always a good thing. So this contract will take us through bidding. Once we have bids in hands, they will go to the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission again for approval for their 40% towards construction. We hope to be through design and turning dirt either the latter part of 24 or early 25. So that's the schedule. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Would you repeat the timeline?
So we hope to be done with design by the end of 24 and turning dirt shortly after the new year in 25.
Any way to speed that up?
With the utility extensions and the architectural design, no, not really. We hope to have bidding complete just before the end of the year so that they can go to commission towards the end of the year for the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission.
Was there something in here that I thought I may have just misunderstood something? That was the location. We kind of had an early indication or thought of where the hangar might go. Has that changed?
It has. So we put a little bit more thought into where the hangar was going to go, and one of the reasons we did this was for resiliency of being able to lease out the facility should Air Evac ever vacate before the 15 years is up. So it's going to be set on a taxiway that was constructed using FAA airport improvement funds back in 2014, I believe. There's been nothing built on that taxiway to date, so the FAA is happy that we're developing hangars on the taxiway that they paid for. And it also makes it easier on Josh and the city. Should Air Evac leave, the hangar demand in this area right now is huge. So the ability to turn around and lease that to a fixed wing that may not be able to access it like a helicopter does was one of our considerations. So that's why it was moved.
You have the map.
I believe there was one attached to the agenda item. Josh may have a copy with him as well.
I don't think there was one of the airport and the runways, but there was layouts of the hangar.
Okay, right. That's correct.
Yeah. No, not a map with this, no. But
I can provide that to you all. That's no problem.
Any other questions or discussion? Do I hear a motion to approve 4A?
I'll make a motion to approve 4A.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Motion approved. All right. Considering there's no other new business, motion, administration items, or anything, I move to adjourn the Durant Airport Authority meeting.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu?
Yes. All right. Thank y'all. I think we're done. Is that it? All right. Adjourn.